Today we're going to talk about the square root. The product of a number when multiplied by itself is called a square, and for this reason the number considered in relation to such a product is called a square root. For example, when we multiply, say 12 multiplied by 12, the product is 144. Thus, 144 is a square of which the root is 12. And we say that the square root denoted by a square over the top is equal to 12. The square root of 144 is equal to 12 simply because 12 multiplied by 12 is 144. The origin of this term square root is borrowed from the geometry, which teaches us that the contents of a square are found by multiplying its side by itself. Square numbers are found therefore by multiplication, that is to say, by multiplying the root by itself. For example, 4 is the square of 2. Well, simply because 2 multiplied by 2 is equal to 4. And likewise, we say that 9 is the square of 3. Well, because 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. And reversely, we say that 2 is the root of 4. And likewise, we say that 3 is the root of 9. Now we're going to talk about the squares of fractions. So, well, the squares of fractions are found in the same manner by multiplying any given fraction by itself. For example, we want to find, say, the square of 1.5. Well, the square of 1.5 is simply equal to 1 divided by 2 multiplied by 1 divided by 2, which is equal to 1 divided by 4. Consequently, we have only therefore to divide the square of the numerator by the square of the denominator, and the fraction which expresses that division will be the square of the given fraction. Thus, let me give another example. Say we have the fraction 25 divided by 64. 25 divided by 64 is simply the square of 5 divided by 8. Well, because 5 divided by 8 multiplied by 5 divided by 8 is equal to 25 divided by 64. And we denote that by, say, the square root of 25 divided by 64 is equal to the square root of 25 divided by the square root of 64, which is equal to 5 divided by 8. Let us now proceed to general expressions. First of all, say when the root is a, and in this case, well, a is just a number. If the root is a, in that case, the square is simply a multiplied by a, which is equal to a squared. And if the root is to be, say the root is 2 multiplied by a, well, in that case, the square is 4 multiplied by a, which is equal to 4a squared. Which shows that by doubling the root, the square becomes 4 times greater. And lastly, if the root be, say, a multiplied by b, the square is simply a multiplied by a multiplied by b multiplied by b, which is equal to a squared multiplied by b squared.